Asterisk. Title: The baby monitor recorded a voice, but no baby was home. The first sound came at 2:13 a.m., not a scream, not a cry, just a whisper. Claire Whitmore was asleep on the couch when the baby monitor crackled beside her, its tiny green light blinking in the darkness like an eye refusing to close. At first, she thought it was static. The old house made sounds at night, pipes knocking, floorboards breathing, wind pressing against the windows like cold fingers. But then the monitor hissed again, and this time the sound shaped itself into a voice. "Mommy?" Claire's eyes opened so fast her heart seemed to stop. She sat up, frozen, staring at the monitor on the coffee table. The word had been soft, broken, almost hidden beneath the static. But she had heard it. Mommy. Her throat went dry. There was no baby in the house. There hadn't been one for 8 months. The nursery upstairs was empty, its crib disassembled, its walls still painted pale yellow, this because Claire had never found the strength to repaint them. Her husband, Mark, had packed away the toys, the blankets, the tiny clothes, but the monitor had remained in a drawer until that morning, when Claire found it sitting on the kitchen counter, plugged in, fully charged. Mark swore he hadn't touched it. Claire had assumed she had moved it herself and forgotten. Stress did strange things, people said. Grief did stranger things. But now, in the dark living room with rain crawling down the windows, the baby monitor crackled again. A small breath came through the speaker. Then the same voice whispered closer this time, "Mommy, I'm cold." Claire's hand flew to her mouth. Upstairs, the empty nursery door creaked open. Mark didn't believe her at first. He came running down the stairs half asleep, hair messy, face tense, asking why she was standing in the hallway with a kitchen knife in her hand. Claire pointed at the monitor. "It talked," she whispered. Mark looked at it, then at her, and his expression softened in that careful way people use when they think someone is breaking. "Claire," he said gently, "it's probably interference, a neighbor's monitor, some radio signal." But their nearest neighbor lived almost half a mile away, and the Whitmore house sat alone at the edge of Briar Lane, surrounded by black trees and old farmland. Claire said nothing. She simply pressed the playback button. The monitor popped, hissed, then played the recording. Static, silence, then a child's voice, "Mommy, I'm cold." Mark's face changed. He stepped back as if the sound had touched him. "That's not possible," he muttered. Claire watched him rewind it 3 times, then 5, then 7. Each time the voice sounded the same. Small, weak, real. Mark checked the nursery upstairs. Empty crib marks still dented the carpet. No open windows, no toys, no hidden speakers. But when he turned to leave, Claire noticed something that made her blood go cold. The rocking chair in the corner was moving. Slowly. Back and forth. Back and forth. Mark stopped too. Neither of them breathed. The chair creaked once more, then became still. That night, they unplugged the baby monitor and placed it inside a kitchen drawer. Mark wrapped it in a towel, as if covering it would somehow make it harmless. But at 3:04 a.m., from inside the drawer, the monitor turned on by itself. The green light blinked. Static filled the kitchen. Then a voice whispered, "Why did you leave me upstairs?" By morning, Claire looked like she had aged 10 years. She sat at the kitchen table in the same clothes, staring at the drawer. Mark wanted to throw the monitor away, but Claire refused. "What if it's her?" she said. Mark closed his eyes, pained. "Don't do that to yourself." Their baby girl, Lily, had never come home from the hospital. That was the truth they had buried under routine, silence, and locked nursery doors. She had lived only 2 days. 2 days of soft breathing, tiny fingers, and machines Claire still heard in her dreams. After Lily died, the house became too quiet. Claire had wanted to move, but Mark insisted staying would help them heal. Now the quiet was gone. That afternoon, Claire searched the monitor's model online and found old forum posts about cross signals, faulty batteries, and strange recordings. But one comment caught her attention. Sometimes old baby monitors don't pick up nearby houses. Sometimes they pick up rooms that remember. The comment was from a deleted account. Beneath it was a photo of the exact same model, sitting in an empty nursery. Claire printed the image with shaking hands. The wallpaper in the photo looked familiar. Tiny yellow stars on a cream wall. Her own nursery had the same wallpaper, but they had never posted pictures of it online. That evening, Mark found Claire standing outside the nursery, listening. "There's someone in there," she whispered. He opened the door. The room was empty. Then the monitor in Claire's hand crackled. A child's voice whispered, "Not there." Claire turned slowly toward the hallway mirror. In the reflection behind Mark, stood a small shadow by the nursery door. It lifted one tiny hand and pointed downstairs. They followed the pointing shadow to the basement. Mark said it was insane, but he still held the flashlight like a weapon. The basement smelled of dust, wet wood, and something old beneath the floorboards. The baby monitor kept hissing in Claire's hand, guiding them with bursts of static whenever they turned the wrong way. At the far wall, behind stacked paint cans and broken shelves, they found a narrow door neither of them had noticed before. It was painted the same gray as the wall, almost invisible. Mark pulled it open. Behind it was a crawl space. Cold air breathed out. Claire lifted the monitor. The green light turned red. Then the baby voice whispered, "She's still here." Mark crawled in first. Claire followed, heart pounding so hard she felt sick. At the end of the crawl space, under a plastic sheet, they found a rusted metal box. Inside were old photographs, hospital bracelets, and a newspaper clipping from 1986. The headline read, "Infant disappears from Briar Lane home. Mother claims baby still crying through walls." Claire's hands trembled as she read the article. A woman named Eleanor Graves had lived in the house decades earlier. Her newborn daughter vanished one winter night. Police found no forced entry. Eleanor insisted the baby monitor recorded her child crying from inside the walls. Everyone called her unstable. She was taken away. The baby was never found. Mark looked pale. "Claire," he whispered, "this isn't Lily." The monitor crackled violently. A second voice came through, older, colder, and not like a child at all. "No," it whispered, "but she opened the door. That night, the house changed. Doors opened by themselves." The nursery light flickered. The monitor played recordings they had never made. Lullabies hummed in a woman's voice. Footsteps crossing the upstairs hall. A baby crying softly behind walls that should have held only wood and wires. Claire became convinced the house had been waiting for someone like her. Someone grieving enough to answer. Mark wanted to leave immediately, but every time he grabbed the keys, the monitor screamed with static until the windows shook. At 1:46 a.m., Claire heard Lily's hospital lullaby playing upstairs. She ran before Mark could stop her. The nursery was glowing with cold blue light. In the middle of the room, the rocking chair moved gently, and on the floor lay one of Lily's old blankets, the one Mark had packed away months ago. Claire stepped inside, crying. "Lily?" The baby monitor crackled in her hand. The child's voice whispered, "Not Lily." The nursery door slammed behind her. Downstairs, Mark heard Claire scream his name. He threw himself against the locked door again and again. Inside the nursery, Claire saw the walls ripple like water. For 1 second, the room was no longer empty. She saw another woman in old clothes, Eleanor Graves, kneeling near the wall, whispering to something hidden inside it. Then Eleanor turned toward Claire, eyes wide with terror, and mouthed one word, "Run." The wall behind her split open like a dark mouth. From inside came the older voice, smooth and patient. "Mothers always come when children call." Mark broke the door open just as the room went silent. Claire stood in the center, holding the baby monitor to her chest. Her face was pale, but her eyes were different. Focus, calm, almost empty. "We have to give it what it wants," she said. Mark backed away. "What does it want?" Claire looked toward the crib marks on the carpet. A voice. The truth came together in pieces. The house did not contain a ghost child. It contained something older that had learned how to sound like one. It had used Eleanor's lost baby, then Lily, then Claire's grief. The baby monitor was never receiving signals. It was transmitting invitations. Every whisper was bait. Every mommy was a hook. Mark grabbed the monitor and smashed it against the floor. For 1 perfect second, silence returned. Then every phone in the house lit up at once. Baby monitor audio played from the television, the laptop, the old radio in the kitchen. 100 small voices whispered together. "Mommy." Claire covered her ears, sobbing. Mark pulled her toward the front door. But before they reached it, the nursery door upstairs opened. A soft blue glow spilled down the steps. The voice spoke one final time, now using Mark's voice, Claire's voice, Lily's voice all at once. "You heard me. That means I heard you too." They ran into the rain and never returned. Months later, a new family moved into the Whitmore house. On their first night, the mother found an old baby monitor waiting on the kitchen counter, fully charged, blinking green. She smiled, confused, and picked it up. From the speaker came Claire's trembling whisper, "Please don't answer it."